So that's what happens when you shoot the puck. Noted. Folks, an 8-2 blowout victory in which the Edmonton Oilers run the Arizona Coyotes out of Rogers Place on a Wednesday night in December. It feels oh so good. And right like that, all of a sudden, the Oilers have their 2 wins since December 3rd. So you aren't going necessarily, you could lose the next 12 games and still do just as good as the Oilers did in a 15-game stretch since December 2nd last year. So we won't worry too much about that. But what we will worry about is it's a big old blowout victory, and I got to mention this right off the top because you got to love good hockey when it's played well. Klim Kostin with the Gordie Howe Hattrick to finish things off tonight in a fight with Zach Kassian, and you love to see things. I get to see a little bit of that edge to the game that you don't often get to see anymore, and Kostin was in the battle all night tonight. And you know what? If he's going to start putting up scoring numbers and doing what he did tonight, I love it. I love it. Folks, let's play La Bamba, baby. This is Dolynny TV, and good evening. Welcome back to tonight's post-game review here on the channel as we recap the Edmonton Oilers and Arizona Coyotes 8-2 blowout victory for the Edmonton Oilers at home in Game 3 of the 4-game homestand, in which the Oilers are now 15 wins on the season. And you gotta love it because maybe now this is exactly what the Oilers needed, right? They come out of the gates, they're shooting the puck, they're firing it on net. They held the Arizona Coyotes to like 18 shots on net, 2 goals against. Stuart Skinner, good enough to win a hockey game by a mile. And the Edmonton Oilers make sure he gets light work in a 3rd straight start after having to work pretty heavily against the Washington Capitals. So it's a pretty good all-around game from our Edmonton Oilers this evening. And I mean, Connor McDavid regains the NHL goal-scoring lead. He's got like 52 points in 27 games played. Leon Draisaitl gets a power play goal. Obviously, Derek Ryan scores a goal. Tyson Barrie had a nice assist on a Connor McDavid goal. I think, too, Brett Kulak scoring a goal is important, but more so Kyler Yamamoto getting 2 points. We'll break it all down in the scoring summary, but there is so much to mention in today's game. This is the beauty of when the Oilers play the game they should against a very tired Arizona Coyotes team, right? They've been out on the road for 14 straight games. They come in to the Oilers Arena, Rogers Place, in the heart of Ice District in downtown Edmonton. And as Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown said on the pregame show, hey, I was out and about on wing night in Crossfield tonight, so I had time to listen to the pregame show on 630 Ched. And as Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown mentioned in their pregame segment on 630 Ched, what they made mention of is a quote by Andre Trignay of the Arizona Coyotes, the head coach, who said, dude, I ain't going to make any comment on how to shut down Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl because they will just make me look like a goof. Well, he didn't even have to say anything, and they straight up alone would have been enough to embarrass this Arizona Coyotes team this evening. Let alone the Edmonton Oilers depth role players coming to play and actually having a game. Comes against a great opponent for it to come against. Obviously, you don't want to play a 4-3 hockey game on a Wednesday night where you're already on pins and needles about how this season's going. You want to blow the Arizona Coyotes right out of the water, get them the heck out of the building, send them down the road wherever they're coming from, and don't worry about them for another little while. And that's exactly what the Oilers did tonight. That's huge. That's an absolutely massive get. You can say, oh, well, it's the Arizona Coyotes who are 7-13-4. That's what the Oilers should do against an opponent that is 7-13-4, right? Like I'm saying, if the Oilers won 4-3, we'd be talking about how the Oilers didn't play well enough. We got to talk about the Oilers blowing out a bad opponent. That's huge. Massive victory right there, and we'll take it. And with that, you can stop me rambling about it. Folks, if you're new to the channel and you've stayed with me this long, I forgot to mention you should subscribe to the channel. Definitely do that if you'd be so kind. You got a really good free trial there. But we'll go get the scoring summary for this hockey game. We'll wrap it up with a pretty bow. There's not much more I can add. I don't want to beat up on the Arizona Coyotes. Obviously, Connor Ingram got about as much help as Jack Campbell does night in, night out from the Edmonton Oilers. And that is as expected because it is, at the end of the day, the Arizona Coyotes. But as it comes down to it, really, Just one of those games where the Oilers can be really proud of the effort they put in. They never stopped coming. Even when they were up big, they were still putting pucks on net and trying to score goals just because they know they need to score some goals to get really back into this. And the depth, really good job showing up, not just playing a role, but actually playing a significant role in tonight's hockey game. Let's go recap this one. I'm not even going to go for the scoring summary because it's completely irrelevant who scored when, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. The Oilers scored the first 3 goals of the hockey game. First time they've done that this season. Nuge, Ryan, Draisaitl, that's who scored your first 3 goals of the game. Like I said, Draisaitl on the power play. All right, quickly though, let's go to it here. The Arizona Coyotes, this is how rough of a night it was in net for Connor Ingram, who faced 35 shots and had a .771 save percentage. Like I said, that's about how much support, of course, Jack Campbell gets in net for the Oilers. And here you look at it here from the Oilers. Tyson Barrie, 2 assists, right? Talked about that. Philip Broberg records a point. It's an assist. Leon Draisaitl, goal and an assist. Dylan Holloway gets an assist. Zach Hyman gets an assist. Klim Kostin, a goal and an assist. Brett Kulak, a goal. Connor McDavid, 2-2, 52 points on the season in 27 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, regains scoring lead. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 goals, 1 assist on the game, right? Nuge continues to do crazy things. Darnell Nurse gets an assist. Derek Ryan, a goal and an assist. And Kyler Yamamoto, 2 assists. So Devin Shore, who we've questioned all season long, why is he in the lineup? Well, he shows up and doesn't do anything. Obviously, yes, Puljujärvi, talk of Edmonton today, doesn't show up for the game really in terms of the scoring summary. And then you've got outside of that, nobody else other than James Hamblin, Matthias Janmark, and Cody Ceci and Evan Bouchard not showing up in the score column. So, right, there's a couple of guys there that maybe Bouchard and maybe perhaps as well Janmark kind of shocks to see there. But right, obviously when you see the other names that show up, you're not complaining about the guys who didn't get points tonight because it's an 8-2 victory and the Oilers power play goes 40% and the penalty kill goes 100%. So it's a good night all around. And yes, like I said, the Oilers get a welcome back Zach Kassian. And yes, indeed, he gets into a fight in his first game back in Edmonton with Klim Kostin with about 30 seconds to go. And Klim Kostin ends up cutting up Kassian and making a good impression with the takedown. And that's just what you want to see from the Edmonton Oilers in an 8-2 victory. Is if you're going to beat the Arizona Coyotes, beat them in every single facet of the game. And Klim Kostin delivers the final blow with the takedown of Zach Kassian. Folks, that's your recap of tonight. A game that it goes exactly the way the Oilers should have a game go. And if you're new to the channel, I'll throw this to you one last time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button here on the channel. I'd love to have you along. And if not, leave a like. We'll head out. Catch you next time. I'm up on.